Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a max effort bench press day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos every day, please remember to click like down below. And guess what, mother truckers, we are back. Shoulders good, rebuilding the muscle that I lost in my upper body, my pressing muscles. Went back close grip, and I knocked out 315 with a pause today. Easy. I almost went up. I almost said, let me throw another 10 pounds of it. I'm like, you know what? Let's just call it there. It's a good training max. Let's not tempt anything. We'll go heavier than 315 with a different bar next week, right? I'll grab a different bar and I'll hit over this. We're back. And people forget I was benching over 350 close grip before I got hurt. Everyone wants to talk smack. I'm going to pass that. All right. I am going to get to a 405 bench, and I'm going to do it in the 198 Masters 2. I am going to get it. Okay, it is going to happen. That will give me a world record for my class. We already know I'm going to get a world and a national record within the next year on the deadlift. So this is what we have to do. Right? This is what we have to do. Okay, it's going to happen. Moving forward. You know, and overall, life is great. So let's do this. And we got worlds coming up in 4 months. All right, we'll get a much better total now that my bench is coming along. The goal is to get the deadlift there. That's it. But at least my total will be better now that my bench isn't sub 300. And it's going to keep climbing. It's going to keep climbing because we can work off muscle memory now. This training works good. We're going to do it. All right. This is really a tricep and delt day. It really is. I did 5 sets of close grip bench as back off work, all with pauses. Everything was good here. They all felt good. But honestly, you know, people are like, close grip bench triceps. Yeah, triceps seem to always be my weak link. But when I do rep work, I feel it only in my pecs. And it sounds funny. I'm stronger at close grip, and I feel my pecs on close grip. My pecs got a tremendous pump, and I don't really feel the other muscles, although I did feel my elbow felt a little funny. On one side, the tricep tendon near the end of these. So here's going to be the name of the game. The reason I'm doing tons and tons and tons and tons of band press downs is because I'm close grip benching all the time now. That will build a lot of my triceps. And then all that pump work from the band work will build triceps. It'll build it in a different way than the pressing. So we complete the muscle. It's a ton of volume, but it's volume I can recover from because it's restorative in a way, and it's band work, and it's going to build the tendons. I've got to make sure elbow health stays on point. Here's usually your concerns with joints and heavy benching. If you're a wide grip bencher, your shoulders are at risk. If you're a close grip bencher, your elbows are at risk. So elbow tendons, elbow health, that's going to be critical. That is going to be critical for me. So I am going to live on those bands, just like I'm living on the reverse hyper now. I'm be doing like probably 10 sets every lower day of the reverse hyper, but it's restorative. All right, making sure we're getting the upper and middle back. I decided to use a different bar today. We're on conjugate. I can throw in random variations and then go back to my other stuff anytime I want. Decided to use my cambered multi-grip bar. We'll just call it the Swiss bar, because you can actually do seal rows with it, right, without it hitting the bench, because it's got that curvature in the middle. So I decided to do this, but you know what? I feel like I like the other cambered bar better, right? Now, people can say, well, it's working the biceps a little different. True, but I'm doing chins right now. If you guys saw, I did chins this morning, and I started doing that this weekend. I'm going to do chins every day for a little while, not like I did when I got hurt before. My shoulder health and mobility is so much better. That none of that hurts anymore. I've really opened up that subacromial process. I don't think I'm at risk of impingement anymore. As long as I keep overuse, spine will be fine. When I originally had problems, I was doing 100 chins a day. Right? I figure I can do 1 to 2 sets of high rep chins every day, 1 to 2 sets, just as part of my GPP, just to make sure my lats and biceps get worked outside of my normal training. And then we're going to do rowing of some type on these other days. And it's all going to be chest supported. I think maybe on the lower days, just so that I get more grip work for my deadlift, I'm thinking of axle bar inverted rows. I have Saif doing those right now, by the way. Client Saif is doing those. That's a great way to build grip while still getting some upper back work and stuff in. But yeah, upper back is going to matter. Lats matter. For me, closed grip bench, that's one of the reasons I think I've always been good at closed grip. Not only do I have a better, more natural bar path, I get that J curve a little bit better. It's the fact that I can use my lats to drive out of the bottom. Now, when I say that, I'm going to have to make other videos explaining that. People don't get it. I'm like, well, technically lats are a primary mover on the closed grip bench, but they don't get worked. And that might sound really funny. They're a primary mover in the sense that they work as an external spring. They're not contracting really to do it. Like, they're not contracting the muscle fibers, they're just physically in the way. You can just pop your lats a little bit. If you have big lats like I do, and you're on a closed grip bench, if you just pop your lats a little bit, it will actually drive the bar out of the bottom because it pushes your elbows up, right? Does that make sense? It's an external force, just like as if you had really thick, crazy wraps around your elbows. That would help tremendously out of the bottom of a bench, wouldn't it? But those wraps wouldn't be working because it's an external force. So much the same with the lats. So after that, the seal rows, we went over to upright rows, did the same weight I've been doing. It's time to increase the weight on these a hair. Did my 5x10, again, builds the entire shoulder girdle, right? It offers a little bit of bicep and grip work, a little bit of bicep and forearm work, but it works all 3 heads of the delt, works the upper trap. And I'm not as worried about doing rear delts. Why? Because I'm doing 20 sets of rows a week, plus I'm doing chins. My rear delts, they're fine. I'm not as worried. So I'm doing front plate raises. Works the front delts, side delts, upper chest, upper traps. Again, bigger delts, bigger triceps will bring up that bench. That's what's going to bring my bench up. Now on these, I'm working the volume up. I've been doing 3 sets of 10 with this. I went ahead and got 4 sets of 10, and the 4th set was really hard because I'm not used to doing 4 sets because I do the 5 sets of upright rows first. I want to work up to 5 sets of these with the plate, with a full plate, and then we'll try to add reps. And I might have to go to one of those 55s, But I mean, my God, I'll be good to go then. I can take one of those 55s and do sets of 20s eventually. I'm good to go. I mean, we might even argue that my delts will be strong enough because I'm doing these as a last delt exercise. If I can get to 20s with the 45, my delts will probably be plenty big. All right, again, building everything up top involved in the bench. Build the support musculature, build the primary movers. But yeah, delts and triceps, because my pecs really do get a lot of work from the closed grip benching, the dumbbell presses, all that, because I do dumbbell work right now. I did them on speed day. I feel like that's all getting sufficiently worked. Things like my triceps and delts tend to limit the maxes, although the rep work seems to work the pecs more. So I think we're good there. We're good there. And then we did 10 sets. 10 sets of band press downs, which is the same thing that we did on speed day. So yeah, I'm going to do at the end of my bench workouts right now, I'm going to do 10 sets of the band press downs with the weight I can get over 20 reps with. I'm in the like 22 to 30 rep range with this band. And you know what? If it gets too easy, then I'll go over to the next band up. But I don't want to be getting low reps. So we go to the next band up, then obviously my triceps will be a lot bigger by then. So then we go to more tension. But yeah, it may get to that point because even I think with the last set I got like 28 because I pushed it out to failure, after doing a bunch of mid-20s on all the others. So yeah, I mean, I can still use progressive overload here because the volume is high. We're over 20 reps for 10 sets. But the elbow benefits are really, really good. The tendons are going to build up from this, and then we can progress from there. But, I get to a point where if I can do the next band up, because this is technically a 30-pound band, the next is a 50, that's a substantial increase. So, if I could get to where I'm doing that one for 20s in this same configuration, because obviously it's going to be a different weight here, my triceps are going to be a lot bigger and stronger. They'll probably be close to where I need them to be, for that 405 bench at that point, in theory, if they're the limit on my bench. But obviously we need the pecs and delts and everything else to come up too. We need all of it to come up. But if I miss a closed grip bench, it's usually midway to lockout. If I slow and grind, it's usually the last few inches. So it's going to be a matter of if we can just explode off the chest, use the lats and the pecs to explode out of the bottom, practice the speed work. It's really going to come down to my triceps at the end of the day. When I go to hit maxes, can they follow through once I generate speed out of the bottom? And that's really what's going to matter long term. So I've got to stay on top of the triceps. We have to stay on top of the triceps. And I like a movement like this because not only do we work the long head because of the downward angle, we get that stretch reflex. And again, that tension is progressive and it's near the lockout. And that's where I tend to miss. It's where I tend to miss a closed grip bench, me personally. So this works into my strategy nicely, and we're going to do tons of it, and it's restorative and great for the elbows, just like the reverse hyper is for the bat. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.